Hey, so I want to share this with you. I just wrote a letter to my wife and I proposed a plan for 21 dates. Um, and this came at the result of conversations with her and some love letters that we recently wrote to each other. And she wrote hers in a card and gave it to me, left it for me in the house. And it was a pleasure to find it. I wrote mine in a big poster board letter um, and put it under the pillow in the bedroom. And then she found it and let me know that she read it. Right. But it also came from a conversation with a new client that I'm working with. And I referred to him in the last video where he talked about, this is a recently divorced man, and he talked about frustrations and being devastated because in his mind he did all the right things, right? And he had bought his woman a big home, a Mercedes truck to match his truck, etc., etc. And his wife ended up being disenchanted with him and having an affair with a personal trainer that she was working with. And this story is very prevalent. A lot of people have. It's either the pool boy, the personal trainer, a student, a somebody who has from the outside a much less stature and is much less threatening than we would think. But I think it's a miseducation that a lot of men are being taught about this so-called high value man talk that is the misdirection of a lot of embittered and unsuccessful men. You know, we want to be supreme quality lovers, right? We want to have a supreme skill set in the love domain, right? In the intimate love domain. And if you are a supremely skilled lover, you are understanding a part of the psychology of women, because when we look at these dudes who are the pool boy or are the personal trainer or who is the student or who is someone who seems to be of menial value, one of the things that they're able to deliver that the men who are chasing material success and other things are not doing is quality time, reassurance, etc. Now, does the woman have a responsibility? Absolutely. And should she be accountable for immoral behavior? Absolutely. And is it incumbent upon her to communicate thoroughly what is missing? Absolutely. And is it incumbent upon her to help plan a course of action to reconcile? Absolutely. This goes either way, whether it's man or woman, and we tend not to do that. We tend to lodge a complaint and then say, yo, this is how I feel, so it's all on you to make it right. But we have a concept at the Akuma House Initiative that we call SMDH. And it's an acronym that came and developed from shaking my damn head. But what it means is to share, model, demonstrate, and help. So share what you're feeling, model what it is that you want to experience, and then demonstrate how we can do it, and then help the other person execute it. If you can do that, SMDH, then you're actively involved in the correction that you want to see, and it's not something that you just laying at the feet of your beloved partner and, you know, putting some load on them that they clearly can't handle, and this is why they are not executing now. But the two of you together can come up with some time and effort and some energy with exactly what you want. So it's in that spirit and the conversations that me and my wife were having that I came up with this 21 date concept. And it's a 777, 3 sevens. And so the first 7 is something that she requested that we share a sunset. So I proposed to her that over the next several weeks, we share 7 sunsets. We go to different locations, be they locations that we frequented early in our relationships, or locations that are very scenic and that make a sunset beautiful. So we're going to go to 7 locations and see 7 sunsets, right? Over the course of the next several weeks, maybe like once a week, we'll go and enjoy a sunset together. And at that sunset, we'll talk about the things in our relationship that we want to sunset. We want to let them go. We want to purify them out. We want to put them to rest because they are hurting us and or no longer serving us, right? So that's the first step. The next 7 is we're going to go in areas that are historic and relevant to us and the beginnings of our relationship, when our love was new, fresh, exciting, etc. And we're going to go there and plant 7 seeds. So we got 7 sunsets. Now we're going to 7 seeds. We're going to plant 7 seeds of trees, of flowering plants, of fruit trees, etc. And we're going to monitor them annually over the next few years to see if they sprout. So that's 7 seeds. And then the final S7 is 7 shows. We're going to go to 7 shows. Man, I'm telling you, look, we went to a show last summer, and it was a Earth, Wind, and Fire cover band. My wife found this show, and it was in the local county park of our county, Mercer County. And man, this show was incredible. So I went there with a lot of, I don't know what I was expecting, honestly, because it's been about 20 years since I saw a cover band, right? The last cover band that I saw was a rock and roll cover band, actually. And so we go to this show. I forget oh man, please forgive me. This band is out of the DMV area. The DC, Maryland, Virginia area, but they're an Earth, Wind, and Fire cover band, and the leader of the band used to play with Earth, Wind, and Fire. When I'm telling you that this was one of the greatest shows that I ever been at, I'm telling you, it ranks in one of like the top 20 shows that I ever been to. And I've been to a lot of shows over the course of my life, so it's relevant. Well over 100 shows, right? So this show was phenomenal, man. They did all of the hits. They did some very popular B tracks, and this show was about, they came on around 8 and they didn't leave the stage till around 12. So they really was rocking, you know what I mean? The musicianship was impeccable. The interpretations of the songs was so dope, right? They were spot on in some covers, and then other covers they reinterpreted and included other things, some of the Isley Brothers inspirations and some other stuff that I thought was really, really dope. So this cover band, and I would have to ask Nawasha what their name, like to find the program of it so I could find their name, because I need to put their name in the chat here. It's significant. This band, if any of the members ever see this video, you all were phenomenal. And I mean, they got standing ovations, and they really had to like tell the crowd, that's it. They did like 3 ovations, and it was just like, yo, they were really, really dope. So I'm proposing to my wife that we go see 7 shows. They can be more established artists, they can be local artists, they can be plays, what have you, but something that we can share that's reminiscent of the beginning of our relationship, because we were in New York City quite a bit, and we went to a lot of shows in the New York metro area and the Philadelphia metro area. With us being in New Jersey, kind of between New York and Philadelphia, we were popping up or popping down quite a bit to see a lot of shows. And one of the things that's funny in our history, like on 3 occasions. I think one time was Jill Scott, one time was Erykah Badu in a showcase, and then another time was actually Earth, Wind, and Fire, and they were on tour with Journey, right? We came to these shows and we got there thinking that like Earth, Wind, and Fire was the closing act, but they were actually the opening act for Journey, right? And so when we walked in the venue, Earth, Wind, and Fire was leaving the stage. One time we went to the Dell East in Philadelphia, which is a legendary performance place, and we went to go see Jill Scott. We got in and she was like, "Thank you very much. Thank you for everyone coming out." It was hilarious. So I think we had that same thing with Kindred, the Family Soul, or Ruben Studdard. It was another show, a small show we went to see in Philadelphia. And the act that we were coming to see, it was a headliner, like 3 headliners on the show, Bill. But I think that we went to go see the show, and when we got there, the person we came to see was already getting off stage, so that was hilarious. Well, we've seen shows out of the country, we've seen shows all around the country, so I'm proposing 7 shows. And if you are familiar with our Acoma 52 date challenge, you know that we have in the house and out of the house dates, and we have a budget, a very low budget on the out of the house date, so that we can save money and that we can be creative. And when Nawasha took us to this cover band, this show was free in our county park. It was part of the county's entertainment schedule for the county, and they had a variety of different bands. She chose this band that was an Earth, Wind, and Fire cover band. Again, they're from the DMV area. If you see this and you know who these people are, please put their name and tag them in this. This show was phenomenal. I have seen Earth, Wind, and Fire live, and this show was like one step down. It wasn't Philip Bailey, but the falsetto was there. It wasn't Maurice White, but the orchestration and the baritone, the smoothness, it was all there. You know, of course, I ain't gonna say they were better than Earth, Wind, and Fire, but they were comparable. And so I was really, really, really impressed with this show. But what I'm proposing for my wife for the season coming up is 7 sunsets, 7 seedings, and 7 shows. So it's 21 S's to deepen and reinvigorate our love. I invite you to learn about the 52 Acoma Date Challenge and to reinvigorate your love. Brothers and sisters, you have to have a plan. Do not let things just go by and we'll try to figure it out. I don't want to see you taking for granted that you have to actively grow together or you will grow apart. Dating is actually for married and mated couples. Courting is another thing, and that's when you're getting to know someone and interviewing them for the position of commitment. Too often we date with people we don't know, and then we take the people we're committed to for granted. And this is how you end up with your man or your woman being connected with the babysitter or the teacher of your children or the student of your woman or the pool boy or personal trainer. This is how that happens. So I don't want to see that happen to you. If you need counseling or coaching around that, or consultation on how to plan out your one in the house date and your one out of the house date per month throughout the next season, please get with us and we'll help you around that process. Looking forward to hearing your feedback on these 21 S's that I have, and what do you think, and what are you going to do for your beloved as the season is arising. Looking forward to talking to you soon, and as always, greeting you in the words of Black Love Culture, Nia Koma.